Hi, welcome guys. Our special guest tonight, you know him as Spider from Grand Santino, and you know him as Paul from live action Disney movie Mulan. Please welcome Doua Moua.
How you guys doing?
Could you please tell me a little bit about your special heritage? I know you like traveled the world a little bit when you were in childhood, and then how you get involved in acting.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in Thailand, and my parents grew up in Laos. And then the root of I'm Hmong, and the root of the Hmong people, we pretty much, migrated from northern China all the way down to the Southeast Asia. So that's how I kind of got to. And after the Vietnam War, we refugees, or some people call it, immigrated to the United States, and I landed and grew up in Minnesota. So, and as a child, I had my parents were working like 2 or 3 jobs a day, so I pretty much like end up and doing stuff by myself. So I'm a pretty good salesman and selling candy bar or gift wraps or poinsettia during Christmas time. So I would go knock on different doors and create different accent and selling stuff for fundraisers. So that's kind of how I started acting.
Right. And like I know you're in Mulan. I'm so happy. It's amazing, and I loved it. As an Asian as well. I was just wondering, what's your preparation for the film, and like what it's like working in on like a big set like that.
Yeah, so most of my preparation was diving into the animated film and kind of still try to pay some respect to what Disney has created for the animated film Mulan that released in 1998. And then after that, most of the preparation was like learning martial arts, Wing Chun, and also riding horses and doing stunts. And I mean, most of all of my preparation was eating a lot and gaining 40 pounds, shooting the film in New Zealand, and then came back home and lost all that weight and waited for Disney to see if we're gonna do additional shoot, and then waited like almost a year, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing additional shoot," so I had to gain 50 pounds again for the role within like a month and a half. So it was a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster, but it showed up on screen and put all my work on screen. So
Wow, that's that's quite a lot. So like you've done quite a lot of work. Which characters is like your favorite?
I mean, every director has their own style, and the thing about working with Clint Eastwood and Nikki Caro from Mulan is pretty much, they would leave me as the actor to do my work, and to bring that work to screen. So they allow me to play around and also just go at it. So I mean, again, every director is different, and being an actor, you have to be so open that you're able to make changes right there, right then. And it's all about listening and reflecting, and kind of putting all that out there. And one of the thing I usually tell people is like, when you're free of all like regrets and concerns about the world, and you're free in your mind and your heart, and you could totally be free when you're in front of the camera, and kind of let anything and everything to happen on screen. So even if an actor screw up on their line, and you could jump in and kind of add something to it so the camera could continue rolling without them cutting, and maybe that might be the perfect shot for the movie. Like, for example, in Gran Torino, and me backing up the car that I came up the curb, all that was accident. I just like in my mind was like, continue, continue, continue. So I continued the scene, and almost ran over the actor that played Tao's feet. But I was just like, I'm just continue, and it ended up on screen. So like it's just, you have to be on your toes all until the director says cut. So
Wow, that's amazing. And somehow what you said kind of resemble life, right? We kind of have to keep going and
yeah,
going. Wow.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like because as an actor we mirror what real life is, and if we don't just say cut and tell them to just the other person who you're talking to or life itself to like repeat itself, what I mean? So and that's the beauty of filmmaking and being an actor.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I was just wondering, as you know, like diversity is something we talk about. Oscar just coming, the first time ever we have Asian nominee as a best,
Yeah.
and like female best directors as well. So I was just wondering, like as an artist, what do you think that you can do, like to like enrich this diversity cultures in Hollywood?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, in a sense, being like a mutt in Asia, just because our roots came from China and we landed in Southeast Asia, so it's hard to put a place. And one of the big thing of me struggling as an actor is not having a set location of saying the Hmong people, this is your country, so that's one of the things that I struggle as an artist is just that, just being not having the sense of belonging. So I think the biggest thing that I will encourage people is to write your stories, to write a script, even a short film or write a book. And so it could get optioned about your story. And that's the biggest thing is, to get to this point, we need people to start writing the Southeast Asian story, a different immigrant story, the East Asian story, a different East Asian story rather than just an immigrant story. Write your American story, how what you go through, and let it become a universal story that no matter who you are, Black, Latino, white, Asian, you can still relate to it because everyone have gone through it. So I think that's the most important thing is, you know, you had Farewell, you had, Minari, you have, Chloe for Nomadland, and you also had like Crazy Rich Asian and Parasite, to all these films that are building the roadblocks for us, and we need to, strike the coal when it's hot. To do that is to have a script, a story ready to hop on this train, and I think that's the most important thing. So
To piggyback onto that, I know that you're writing something of your own as well. With any project you can share with us, your writings and stuff.
yeah, so I've written a feature called The Harvest that it's being in pre-production right now. We're hopefully shooting it this year, and hopefully exciting news will come out about it. I got all I can say is like there's two A-lister an actor and an actress, international actors that just signed on to the project. So I can't disclose their name until it's being announced. So I'm super excited about it. Again, it's a story that I wrote, and it's just combining elements of my life and my experience and just plug it in. I started out by not even understanding what final draft is, or fade in, or all these like writing software. It's me pretty much me open up window and start writing a story down, and eventually start learning from my friends who've been in the industry and writing scripts, and kind of help guide me to transfer into final draft and writing it. So and that just kind of propel of writing all these different narratives that I experienced. Like, it doesn't matter what your story is. Like, I had a goldfish and it died. And I was like, I'm going to write a story about him. I did, and it's getting traction about it, so it's just kind of like anything that, resonate with you, like write it, because we need more Asian stories that, and we just don't want to kind of eventually pigeonhole into a monolith of like all Asians are rich, or all Asian stories are about immigrants. We want to tell more stories about the Asian experience, no matter what. If it's again a rich story, write about it. If it's about the immigrant story, write about it, because it's your story. So
Thank you so much. I'm personally very grateful that like putting more storybook Asian. I know that we have this like Disney animation come out Raya, which
yeah,
also from wow in Thai. So I'm really grateful for that. We're coming to the last question, just something super chill. What do you do in your free time apart from being actor?
I learned because of COVID. I started making jam. So I'm making jam. I'm like when I get inspired by like a new combination, I make jam. Like the recent jam I made was lemon almond drizzle. So it's just kind of like I've been making jam, and right now again I'm prepping for a movie. So I've just been trying to lose all my Mulan weight, and it's hard because COVID is happening. So most of it is spent time on just writing, and literally again, it takes you 1 second to build that courage to write your story, and it's just if you go out there and hustle your butt off and people keep telling you no, it's just a no. You pretty much need just that one yes. And during COVID, I was like, I'm gonna write a kid's book. And I wrote a kid's book. I literally emailed and called all these publishing company, and literally all of them says no, but three said yes. And my kid's book is getting published. So it's again, it takes us to not be so afraid of being judged by society or being judged by the white community or the black community or the Latin community, or even within our Asian community, is for us to just go out there and just present yourself, and anything can happen, and just don't let one no discourage you. So I think that's the biggest thing. And look at you, when the first time I met you, like you were like, I don't know, and I was like, you just gotta stick to it, and it's us Asians, like we have to work extra hard. And when the first time you met me, I was managing a restaurant, and literally you were going through something, and I saw something. I was like, I'm gonna talk to you and encourage you to continue pursuing your dream and going out there. And that's the most important thing, is if I could do that to you, and if you ever see anybody in that situation, just take that second to talk to them, because that second could encourage them to pursue more, so.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful for that conversation. And it still sticks with me, and I'm so grateful to get to know you. And thank you so so much, really. ขอบคุณ ค่ะ
Kapungka.
Well, we coming to time. I hopefully will see you again somehow. But thank you so much for today. That interview with the Sidewalk TV today, and hopefully we see each other soon. You have a good rest of the evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.